that ball game is disappointing to start that way. You're down 14-0 in the first quarter, and then trying to dig out of that hole. That's hard to do on the road versus a good football team. So we came up short. We got to own that and watch the tape and look at it and learn from it, and find a way to correct some of those things that happen early in the game, so you can be in that game and give yourself a chance to win that game. So that's our focus. But I'll take any questions you guys got.
All right, first question from Scott.
Hey, Kevin, after watching the film, what were your impressions of Shedeur? How he played?
Yeah, obviously some good throws down the field, made some explosive plays. There's definitely plays that he wants back, that he can be better, whether it's a decision or a ball or those type of things. But I thought he fought till the end and has the right attitude that he'll just keep learning from all these experiences.
And those 2 interceptions, not the one to Jerry, the other 2, what did you see on those? Was the first one a good play by the defense, or should he see the guy dropping there?
Yeah, it's always, I think you learn from all those, Scott, and at times you tip your cap to the defense and you say they made a play, and other times you talk to the quarterback, hey, could be footwork, could be who you're keying, could be decision, all those things. So I do think you have to give them credit and say that they're making plays, but I think how we coach our guys is, hey, next time we did it, here's some things that we would do differently. But obviously that's going against a good defense that takes the ball away. You got to give them credit as well.
Thank you.
All right, next one, Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, after a sort of a blowout loss like that, and with where you guys stand with everything right now, have you been given any assurances by management that that your job is safe or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't get into those type of things, Mary Kay. I would just tell you, my focus, our football team's focus is solely on the Buffalo Bills, and obviously watching the tape today, that's our focus, but that's all we really care about.
So you haven't asked for anything like that, for any kind of a vote of confidence that you'll be able to continue on after this or anything?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into those type of things, Mary Kay. Not my focus.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next one, Daniel.
Kevin, I wanted to ask for a clarification on what happened with Shedeur's wristband yesterday. After you went up at the podium, he said that a card fell out, but the sideline reporter for Fox said that their cards were being swapped out. Could you kind of just provide some clarity on? Seems like 2 different answers from you guys.
Yeah, what happened was obviously had the wristband. It was good on the first drive. At some point after the first drive, one of the cards must have fallen out of Shedeur's wristband. So when he went to that panel to look for it, it wasn't in there. Obviously grabbed it. We have Bailey on the sideline, have Dylan on the sideline where he can swap out and grab their wristband. So you always have to be prepared for those type of things. You have to be prepared for if the headset goes out, you have to have those automatics that you have to get to if the headset goes out. And similarly, while that's very rare, you have to be ready if something like that were to occur.
And that's the reason why he had to kind of get the call from you from that one play. Like, I guess the headset had gone out at that point, right?
That's right, exactly. So just I was giving him the wristband number, but like I said, the coach to quarterback wasn't out, so you can still communicate that way until 15 seconds.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we go to Jeff.
Kevin, with all the injuries you have on your offensive line, I don't know if any of those guys will be back, but how do you prepare a game plan knowing that your line is not what you hoped it would be?
Yeah, I don't look at it necessarily that way, Jeff. We the guys who are available come Sunday, we go to battle with them, and we work really hard during the week to make sure we have contingency plans and guys are ready to go. Backups stay ready, and that's what we do.
Well, then how does that affect your run blocking yesterday in particular?
Yeah, I would just tell you, anybody who's in there, we trust them to get their jobs done, and we as coaches are always thinking about ways that we can put our guys in positions to have success.
All right, thank you.
All right, next we go to Cam.
Kevin, kind of off of that, similar with the offensive line in particular, the injuries that you have, how does that maybe change the way that you are able to evaluate different positions outside of just the offensive line? I know that these are things that come with the game, but when you're trying to evaluate the production level of a running back or a quarterback, like how do you navigate that with maybe a line that's not full of starters that you typically would have?
Yeah, I think again for us, Cam, is the guys that are in there, we trust them. We're focused on the game that's in front of us. We're worried about getting production in the next ball game, not so worried about evaluation, quote unquote. We're just trying to make sure that we give our guys a chance in every one of these ball games.
And then when you're looking for that production for that next week, when you have games where Jerry Jeudy doesn't come down with that ball, obviously want him to hold himself accountable, you want to hold him accountable. What does that look like in terms of making sure it doesn't spiral into something and trying to, but while still maybe holding players accountable for things that happen on the football field?
Yeah, I think our players understand this game. It's a 60-minute game, and there's plays in every game that you're going to want back from a coaching perspective, from a playing perspective. All we ask and what our guys give is everything they got. Not to say that we're going to be perfect, but we'll just keep fighting when there's time on the clock.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Daniel.
I also wanted to ask about the pressure rate in Shedeur's 4 starts. I think it's at 43%, which is, top 2 in the NFL. Obviously, like the offensive line has gone through a lot of changes, injuries and whatnot. But when you're looking at it, like how much is falling on the offensive line? How much is it guys not, separating early enough? How much is it Shedeur holding onto the ball? Like, what are you seeing that's resulting in the highest pressure rate in the NFL in his 4 starts?
Yeah, again, I think it goes back to each one of these games presents different challenges. Each defense is different in how they're playing the game, how they deploy fronts, how they deploy coverages, if you will. So we're focused on trying to give our guys a game plan that we can go execute, play fast, and go find a way to score points. And there's going to be varying factors to each one of those games, whether it's the opponent, whether it's guys that are available or unavailable. And we just got to do our jobs and give our guys a game plan to go let them play fast.
So there hasn't been like a commonality or a common link that you've seen in Shedeur's 4 starts that can, that you can kind of focus on in terms of, limiting the pressure rates.
Yeah, obviously our focus for our passing game is to keep the quarterback clean and obviously get the ball out on time. There's various ways and various play types to get into, Daniel, to try to mitigate pass rush, but it's so dependent on the team you're playing and the challenges that they present.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering with Bill Musgrave talking to us about how Deshaun kind of stepped up last week and he took on some scout team and some other things like that. As you guys move closer through that 21-day window, are you getting ready to, or, put him on the 53-man roster anytime soon?
Yeah, I would say not my focus, Mary Kay, for right now. I'm very, very pleased with the progress that Deshaun's making on the field. In the classroom, he's doing a really good job.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, do you expect any of the guys that didn't play Sunday due to injuries to be able to go this week?
I'm hopeful on some of these guys, Scott, but not entirely sure yet. I think we got to get through the next couple of days, see how everybody's responding to some of the rehab that we're doing, and I'll have a better answer for you on Wednesday.
Okay, and then with the run game, it hasn't been consistent throughout the year, right? There's been good weeks and bad weeks. One of the bad ones was yesterday. Have you been able to identify just why it hasn't had the consistency I'm sure you're looking for?
Yeah, I wish it was one thing and you could fix one thing, but we just, in order to have success via the air or the ground, you have to be really sound in everything you're doing. And it's on us as coaches to get these guys a plan that they can go execute. And then obviously, you want to give your guys, put them in advantageous positions. Sometimes you're going to go up against good defenses and that type of thing, but that is definitely a focus for us is finding a way to be efficient and explosive on the ground.
All right, we'll go back to Jeff.
Kevin, what are the challenges for you as a head coach to keep your players playing hard in a season when you guys are now 3-11?
Yeah, obviously we know what our record is. We understand that. We don't hide from that. You own it. But we also know how important this game is to us, and the work that has to go into it each week, and what we pour into it each week. The payoff is going out there on Sunday and playing and coaching. So we get where we are. Not going to hide from that, but that's not, part of what we do is going to compete, and that'll never change.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Daniel.
Hey Kevin, like when you look at these 4 starts with Shedeur, it seems like teams have been kind of reluctant to blitz him, and maybe that's because of what he showed in that Raiders game, eating the cover 0 blitz and stuff like that. But they're playing a ton of zone coverages. So what has maybe given him and the offense struggle when facing those zone coverages, and what do you have to be better at in terms of executing the pass game against those zone coverages? And maybe why are teams playing like, almost 50% zone coverage against him instead of, blitzing?
Yeah, I can't speak to the why. I would just tell you, in the pass game, whether it's man, whether it's zone, whether it's 1 high, 2 high, blitz, no blitz, sim blitz, all the above. Obviously, we have to be on the same page in all areas, whether it's protection, whether it's routes run, decision making, you name it. So we're working very hard, certainly, to get everybody in those areas. And when you're going up against zone defense, and again, various types of zone, but when you're going up against zone defense, you have to be great in those zones and at your route depth, at where you're supposed to be. And quarterbacks making great decisions versus those zones. So it's a multifaceted to have success versus zone in the pass game.
Thank you.
All right, Mary Kay, you have one more?
There we go. Yes. Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, you talked a little bit about this after the game yesterday, but you kind of alluded to the fact that a rookie quarterback is going to have maybe a game like this, or is going to have some setbacks. And it's not always just going to be an upward trajectory when you're developing these young guys. So just wanted you to address that notion a little bit. And, was a game like this maybe expected, or did you anticipate it? And why is the sky not falling after something like that?
Yeah, sky's not falling. I think with the young players, Mary Kay, there's growing and there's learning that happens. And, look at history for, I don't care what the position is, but look at history in terms of young players. And sometimes there's moments that aren't going to go your way, and you learn from those. So that's no different for any position, no different for Shedeur versus any other player. There's going to be really good games. There's going to be games you want back. There's going to be plays you want back, great plays. So I look at it for a young player to be able to go into a really tough spot, have some really good moments, some moments that you want back. We'll learn from those. We'll grow from those, and we'll be better from those.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we'll let you know when Harold or Mahmoud's on the way.
Okay, let me talk through this before they have Harold Fanning Jr. come up. Let's deal first with Kevin Stefanski. The vultures, the lions in the den, whatever you want to call it, they are out. They've been out for a while, but it's at a whole new level up there in Cleveland, whether it be on radio shows up there in Cleveland, whether it be ESPN Cleveland, the Tony Rizzo show, who's been working with ESPN over 20 years, 92.3 The Fan. They are out for the silver platter on Coach Kevin Stefanski's head. The team is decimated with all kind of injuries. There's all kind of short video, social media clips out there on social media where Joe Patonio, number 75, the starting left guard, he's the only starter for the Cleveland Browns. ShedeurSanders is basically playing with all backups. No first-team players, basically, on that O-line due to injury. It is what it is. It's always a next man up mentality. And we even heard Shedeur say previously, he doesn't care who he's out there with. He's expected to still perform to the best of his ability, still perform with whoever's out there. But Mary Kay Cabot, which is she had a silver daggett. She straight up asked at the very beginning of this press conference with Kevin Stefanski. She straight up asked Kevin Stefanski, "Are you concerned about your job?" He kind of swayed it from the question. Then she came back and followed it up and said, "Have you asked for any reassurances from upper management?" Meaning the Haslams, did he ask for any assurances that he would be back? And his typical responses to something when he does not want to answer it is he says, "I'm not focused on that right now. I'm focused on whatever the issues at hand," which is the Buffalo Bills game. But if we all have the slightest discernment on how to read a person's body language, when Mary Cabot asked that question, I found it odd that Kevin Stefanski smiled. It wasn't a look of shock. It wasn't a look of looking down. When Mary Kay asked that question about has he been given any assurances about keeping his job for next year, he smiled. That can mean one or two things. He could have smiled thinking, "I can't wait to get the hell out of here," or he could have been smiling knowing that the Haslams told him they knew this was going to be a bad year and that he was coming back. It could be a good thing or a bad thing for ShedeurSanders and the rest of the Cleveland Brown team. It is what it is. The Browns only have where I'm glad I can talk through the middle of these interviews instead of waiting till the very end. We're waiting for the tight end, Harold Fanning Jr. to come up. But the Browns only have three remaining games left. They are the Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Bengals. Drop y'all comments how y'all feel. Let me know what y'all think.
You have questions, raise your hand and we'll call on you.
Harold Fanning Jr.
First
Tight end.
question will go to Ashley.
Hey Harold, I guess first just another start with Shedeur. I know you were his favorite target yesterday. He got you like 14 times. Like how did you think of the job he did, and especially given all the adversity facing you guys with the weather and stuff?
I felt like, he done his best. Obviously some stuff we want to clean up, some stuff that I still got to do to get better, for him and, for the rest of the team.
What are some of those things that you think you need to clean up?
Just kind of watching back on the tape, just being more decisive in my routes, setting my angles so we can have a clear picture.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Mary Kay.
Yeah, Harold, just wondering, when you're getting so many targets like that, the way that you did, nobody else got more than 4 in that particular game. Does it make it maybe a little bit harder for you to function out there because you're getting attention and they're looking at you, and therefore, maybe a ball is more likely to get picked off because they know it's going to you? And if so, what do you think that you guys can do as you head into this Bills game?
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, since you got so many targets, 14 targets, nobody else got more than 4. What do you think that you guys might need to do heading into the Bills game so that there's not as much focus on you from the defense, where they can kind of maybe know the ball is going to you, anticipate it, and then you're going to be more likely to, have somebody lurking around ready to pick it off?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just do what I'm told to do, and if the ball comes my way, it comes my way. That's all I can control.
In a perfect world, do you think it would help everyone if you guys maybe could spread it out a little bit more, or I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
She is messy.
Yeah, I feel like, of course, we try to spread the ball around. It just happened to be a game for me where I got, more targets than everybody else.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next one, Scott.
Hey, Harold, on those two interceptions that were thrown in your direction, what did the Bears do there? Did they confuse you guys with their coverage, change something at the last minute?
Maybe a little. I feel like it was just two really good plays on their ends, you know. Yeah, I mean that's all I can really say. Them was just good plays on their end.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Ashley.
Yeah, Harold, just wondering when David Njoku's not out there, like, what's your mentality then? Does it change at all when you guys are down a tight end or anything like that?
Nah, I mean, I'm gonna go out there every game, you know, give it my all, play my best. You know, obviously, you know, we'll want David out there because we all know what he's capable of.
Thank you.
All right, next we go Cam.
Got some breaking news
Hey,
on
Harold,
Michael
how
Parsons.
have you seen this team over the past several weeks kind of respond to losses, respond to the adversity you guys have faced and some of the things that aren't going your way? How has this team as a whole responded throughout this process?
Yeah, I feel like it brought us closer, you know, in the locker room. I mean, obviously, I know these guys, you know, they're still playing their hearts out, you know, just by the way they come in ready to work every day.
And for you, I've asked a couple guys, I mean, at this point of the season, right, you're not in playoff contention, you're just kind of looking for a win, but you personally, like, what are the things that you are playing for? Some guys say that they're pride of their name, some are just the development. What is it for you?
I guess the same thing, really. You know, just playing for my team and, you know, putting good stuff on tape and, you know, just looking for something to build off of, you know.
Thank you.
All right, Mary Kay, you have another question?
Yeah, sure. So just wondering, Harold, with you guys knowing that Shedeur is finishing out the string and starting the final 3 games, does that help you guys kind of know what the situation is so that you can really focus on getting better, working together, and how do you think he'll bounce back from that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll bounce back pretty fine. Like I said, like, I know the work these guys have put in, and, you know, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so go to Scott.
Hey, Harold, after the game, Shedeur talked about it, and then Kevin did just a little bit ago. The issue with the wristband, how much confusion was there when Shedeur looked down and didn't have what he needed on his wrist?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't know. I mean, he still went out there and called a play. You know, we still went out there and got lined up. So I'll say he didn't look confused at all.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Ashley.
Yeah, that was kind of along the lines of my question, I guess, Harold, the 12-man on the field penalty when you like ran off. Was there just confusion because of that when that happened?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, got the personnel. You know, it was pretty loud. I should have, you know, went out earlier, but I didn't realize that until obviously when I did. So yeah.
Thanks.
All right, last call for questions for Harold. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Harold.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, breaking news on Michael Parsons. Right in the middle of this live feed, Michael Parsons of the Green Bay Packers. ACLs has been a trend. Torn ACLs has been a trend. And we had Michael Parsons. It just dropped. While I'm posting this live feed, Michael Parsons has a torn ACL out for the rest of the season. If you're not aware, also, Kansas City Chiefs been going to the Super Bowl the last 3 or 4 years. In that defeat yesterday, they're knocked out of the playoffs. And even bigger news, Patrick Mahomes, he has a torn ACL. Just last week, Daniel Jones of the Colts, he tore his ACL. It's been a year of key NFL players tearing their ACL. That's a terrible thing. Let's keep them all uplifted in our prayers. Philip Rivers, old man Rivers, 44, got called up off the couch. He was coaching a high school football team. He went to the Colts practice on Monday, was on the practice squad, got activated in the game, and they almost pulled off that upset. But they lost. The other team kicked the field goal, but Phillips Rivers, I'm sorry. I got Patrick Mahomes on my mind. Phillips Rivers almost pulled off an upset and won. They lost in the last-minute field goal. Let's keep all the NFL players in our prayers that hopefully they can stay healthy for the remainder of these 3 games. Even Myles Garrett, he actually sacked the quarterback against the Bears twice, but the NFL only gave him credit for a sack and a half. So right now he is 1 sack behind, tying the NFL all-time sack record of 22.5 sacks. He has 3 games remaining to try to get 1 more sack to tie the record, which is currently held by former player, New York Giants, Myles Garrett, current player, TJ Watt. They both have 22.5. TJ Watt, if you don't know, he's probably out for the remainder of the season also. He was getting some medical treatment in the Steelers facility. Somehow his lung got punctured, caused him to have a collapsed lung. He is back at home. His brother TJ Watt tweeted out Saturday evening, I think that was, that TJ was home recuperating from his surgery to repair a collapsed lung. So with this cold weather, I don't foresee, I wouldn't even go out there trying to play these last 3 games of the season, especially with the cold weather in Pittsburgh, which is where I'm originally from. And collapsed lung ain't nothing to play with. My brother had a collapsed lung. I know how long it took him to recuperate. So I don't foresee the Steelers having TJ Watts the remainder of this year also. I just don't see it, especially with that cold air getting inside your lungs. Hey, I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. Thank you all for tapping in. Do me a favor. It's really important if you can help the live feeds whenever you watch them. If you can hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. If you can drop your comments in, the more activity that's seen on the live feed post, the YouTube algorithm will push it out. I've been blessed a couple of times and they got pushed up into the 2nd tier of the YouTube algorithm. But just really trying to go to the next level to get the media content pushed out. And I'll be doing live collaborations with other big time, one out of Cleveland, Browns football talk, Will Reese. I know I have a confirmation confirmed doing live collaborations with him. Then I'm trying to get locked on with another person here in Atlanta. But thank you all for watching. Again, I'm Double P, Prentice Premier, host of Premier Sports Talk. Thank you for being a blessing, and may you receive blessings back a double fold.